So here we are, day one of chemotherapy. All right, so how we doing?
We're doing good. A little weaker than before, but I haven't been up today and I haven't eaten much.
When I was 17, I was diagnosed with AML leukemia. It stands for acute myeloid leukemia. It's a disease where my own blood produces immature cells that don't function. My blood can't carry oxygen. It can't clot. It can't fight off diseases. So it slowly affects you. When I found out that I had cancer, the doctor came in the room and he said to me pretty blatantly that you've been diagnosed with AML leukemia. We're taking you to Children's Hospital for treatment. And I looked at my mom and I said, am I gonna die? I don't want to die. And I was just so worried. The treatment was really, really tough on me. I found strength through the fact that the last year of my life had been pretty good. It'd been life had just been really good to me. I was really starting to come together as a person and growing up into the person I was going to be. And I saw some of the great things that I can partake in and encounter in life, and just knowing that once I make it to the other side, that is waiting for me again every day just really got me up.
How's it feel to be home?
Undescribable.
Being in the hospital for that long takes a toll on both your body, obviously, but your mind a great deal. I missed Christmas. I was in the hospital during Christmas, and I remember on the 25th, everyone was there in the morning, but by nighttime, I was alone for a period of time, and the reality of it started to sink in. I had only been diagnosed a month earlier, and I really realized, this is starting to happen. Then my 18th birthday comes around, and the only one there was my mom, and she brought me a cake and everything like that. It wasn't your typical 18-year-old birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mom.
Oh, there's so many.
I also missed my graduation. I didn't get to walk. I mean, I really enjoyed my time at Poway High. It was wonderful, but I mean, I'll never have that experience of graduating high school traditionally like that. And I remember one day, probably 2 months after I got diagnosed, I look in the mirror and I didn't recognize the person standing back at me. It was someone different. It wasn't me. It was the most unreal experience I've had probably during my entire ordeal, was looking in the mirror and having someone look back at you that you don't recognize. Not physically, and that face doesn't mean anything to you. It's totally different. It's not who you were. It's not who you've looked at in the mirror for the last 18 years. It's someone different. When I was alone, I was really, really sad and really just down. I couldn't, the days felt so long and I felt awful. But when people showed up, like my parents and my friends, that all changed. I actually enjoyed their company so much.
Orville, you idiot. Like, Orville and Will were right.
Okay. Orville Redenbacher is the best.
Okay, this is Nerf video take 2.
This thing is supposed to be breaking up the particulate matter in my lungs
I really learned that the most important thing that we have is each other.
Yes!
When they were there, I was just so happy. I'm just glad that they were there for me.
You can say hi to everybody.
Everyone?
Oh, Babsha, Papa.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Hello, Babsha and Papa.
and Stephanie.
And
Harry,
Stephanie, Harry, Katerina.
There you go.
Everyone.
Okay.
After all that I had gone through, with those months, 10 months in the hospital and months afterwards recovering, I had lost, but I had also gained something. This new appreciation and outlook on life, I don't think I would have ever had gained that had I not gone through cancer and all the stress that comes along with it. You gain this outlook that there's always a bright tomorrow. There's always a chance that nothing is ever hopeless. Once you've overcome something as great as that, as cancer, you realize that nothing is ever hopeless. You can always come back and achieve. It doesn't matter what it is. You just are filled with this, not only that outlook, but also an appreciation that, you know, it's really something precious that we have here. You can't take for granted what you have, because any day something could come along and take those things away. I got out of the hospital on July 23rd, 2014. It was tough the first couple months coming out. It was just because I had in my head that once this was all over, life would immediately go back to normal, but the thing is that it didn't. It didn't immediately go back to normal. But eventually my body started to catch up to where my mind wanted it to be, and I was feeling well again. By Thanksgiving of that year, of 2014, I was a lot better off than I had been 3 months ago. In fact, I made a pretty incredible recovery. I was off most of my meds by December, and I started school that spring in February, and it was something else to get launched right back into life like that. I had a pretty brief recovery period, but overall it was really, really incredible. I'm so absolutely thankful for all the things that my recovery has now afforded me. I'm really just looking forward to what's to come.